What's up, everybody? We got another 2 episode night of Daredevil Born Again, so let's dive right in to episodes 5 and 6. It was Cameo City this week, and there's probably a connection there that they're teasing. We'll dive into it in just a second here, but Miss Marvel's father is the first. He's Matt's banker, and while Matt's at the bank, Kamala calls. She's out in California visiting friends, and more likely than not, she's out there visiting Cassie Lang, daughter of Ant-Man, for her Champions recruiting visit, just like the one with Kate Bishop at the end of the Marvels. This has been a rumored project for some time now, and Nexus Point News actually just reported this week that they've got a writer for the show, and so I guess it's a show, and also it seems like those rumors are true. But this is essentially Young Avengers, and like Thunderbolts, they just don't want to use that Avengers title unless it's their, big movie now, and otherwise it would have just been Dark Avengers for Thunderbolts and Young Avengers for Champions. But the Champions team in the MCU is set to feature Kamala, of course, she's being Nick Fury forming the team, Kate Bishop, Wiccan, Stature, Ironheart, America Chavez, Speed, and Viv, Vision's daughter. Also, and this is not confirmed or anything like that, I don't even think it's been rumored or anything, but he's on the team in the comics, and it makes perfect sense to me. I think Miles Morales will indeed be a part of this team too, but maybe not until they're on Battleworld in Secret Wars and we really get into the multiverse of it all. We've got Daredevil to talk about though, and I want to get to episode 6 because that was a great episode, but here in episode 5, the bank gets robbed right after Matt leaves, and so of course he goes back. They do a great job, like they have all season, displaying his abilities here too, but once he's back in the bank, I love how they took us around while he gets a picture of the room. Pretty much, he's going around listening to every heartbeat in that room, where they are, how much space is between each heartbeat, and he's getting a picture with his hearing. Also, when he gets away, asking to go to the bathroom, the Irishman in the red hood is giving him every single advantage, and he doesn't even need them in the fight. What I mean by that is that every time he puts that gun to his head or even to his back, he's getting familiar with it, and the guy's behavior too. At least that's how I took it. I don't know if that's, how they intended it to be taken, but whatever. It leads us to a couple great fights with Matt out of the suit for the final time before the heist falls apart for the Irish, but one of them had a police uniform underneath his clothes, and so Matt tracks his heartbeat from the room he changed in out of the bank and down the street and lays an epic beatdown. The leg break in this scene is absolutely brutal, and if he's actually a cop, I don't know for sure, but if he is, it's the second one in the month of March that Matt's assaulted. I thought that was a good episode, but I do get why we got 2 episodes tonight because it kind of felt like it was from a different show. Also, and this could just be me, I don't know, let me know down in the comments, it just felt really short since we were confined inside the bank for almost the entire episode. But Charlie Cox did get some great scenes inside of the bank, so I can't complain that much. Alright, before I dive into episode 6, I ask that you subscribe to the channel to support it in the easiest and freest way possible. All it takes is one click, and smash that like button while you're at it. Thank you very much. Now let's get back to Daredevil. We went back to Hell's Kitchen with the BB report, which felt intentional, and I like it if it was. Matt cares so much about his community, and so to return to it by going to the community itself is just very fitting for the show. But Swordsman, Kate Bishop's stepdad, shows up on the report fighting crime, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the video. That's now 2 parents of Champions team members showing up in just these 2 episodes alone, and remember, Miles Morales' dad was name dropped during the Hector trial too, so you tell me. I definitely think they're teasing something, but am I overthinking it? Regardless, it's Muse time as his victim from last week is found by the river and his art is being washed away, or at least they're trying to wash it away. We also saw Matt praying, and it seems he definitely makes sure he does it after he has to fight just because of how much he loves fighting. Right after he finishes that, Heather brings up her report on vigilantes and asks for an interview with Punisher, which Matt can only laugh at, and then she asks for Daredevil. I think he's definitely gonna give her that interview, and we'll get our moment like in the, 1978 Superman movie with the Superman and Lois interview, but this is Daredevil, so I could definitely see him saying yes to an interview that Daredevil's going to do it. He'll ask him, his friend Daredevil, of course, and then not getting the chance to do that interview, if you get what I'm saying. Basically, I think it's bye bye Heather by the end of the season. Anyway, Mayor Fisk is pushed to the breaking point once again this week, and it's connected to the bank heist. The robber's boss, Luca, is the one causing trouble in the five families, and now he's getting cocky around Mr. Mayor, which he can when he's in office. But Fisk will take care of this, I have no doubt about it. He's just got a Muse to deal with first, as the mayor finds out about the 60 kill streak psycho, who's pretty much, one of the top ranks in Marvel Rivals, playing Quick Match and his blood paintings. Angela Del Toro also returned this week, and she continues to be part of great storylines in the show. She goes to see Matt because Hector, the White Tiger, was looking into Muse before everything happened, and now this is kind of how she's taking up that White Tiger mantle for now, but it also feels like she definitely could have her own suit by next week. Which, and again, this is just my speculation, but they've been so connected to the show with their parents, it would be kind of cool if Matt put Angela on the Champions team with the younger heroes of the MCU just to give her a safer way to honor her uncle. Like, she's not on the team in the comics, but they're obviously going to do their MCU thing and give it their own touch, so I think it's a great story to set up. Then, if they wanted to, she could even become that team's villain if they ever get a movie and if they ever take her down that dark path that she goes on in the comics. Back to the episode though, Muse is painting the Statue of Liberty inspired by himself when two girls walk up on him in the alley treating him like a celebrity, and they turn into his next victims. I know it might have been annoying for some people, but I personally loved how they just sprinkled him throughout the show and then just went crazy in this episode. Then Swordsman appears again, but in the flesh this time, at the Night with the Mayor event, and I hate to complain, or, just say they should have done this or that, but this felt like a golden opportunity to show off some of the members of the Hellfire Club. Just give us another small taste of the mutant saga to come. I'm desperate. But the mayor's a busy man, and with Muse striking again, he's using it to form the anti-vigilante task force. There is cops reported to him and only him now, and he's giving them overtime and no body cams, which, if you saw that season 2 set leak with Cherry, they're definitely taking advantage of that. The task force also brought Cole North into the MCU, but they completely changed his backstory. In the comics, he shot a young kid back in Chicago because he thought he had a gun, and after enough time serving in Mayor Fisk's NYPD, he fights alongside Daredevil. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle that now in the show with this setup, but I'm cautiously optimistic because he does kind of seem a bit hesitant about Mayor Fisk. Then over in Murdoch Town, Angela foolishly goes by herself to the tracks trying to figure out what the hell her uncle didn't get the chance to, but Muse snatches her and she's getting the full Muse treatment immediately as he just chooses victims by opportunity. Meanwhile, Kingpin, not Fisk, Kingpin goes to see Adam again, and he brings an axe with him this time, like the madman he is. But it's not to use, it's to even the fight, just like he evened the fight as a kid with his dad with that hammer. Kingpin has never been so back. But the same goes for Daredevil as he jumps into action when he hears Angela isn't home and he knows what she's up to, and this fight was pure insanity. During the fight, if you look close and stretch your imagination to its limits, you can kind of see a D in the mesh inside this big circle of his helmet, but I'm probably reaching there. Let me know if you see it down in the comments below. Also, you can let me know if you agree with this or not too, but I thought this was the best action sequence in the show so far. Muse and Daredevil alone would have qualified for that for me, but it's mixed in with that dope fight for Kingpin. The final stretch of this episode was absolutely incredible. I mean, they had me believing Angela was actually going to be Muse's next victim, but Matt chooses to save her over finishing Muse or at least getting him ready for the cops. Kingpin, on the other hand, beats Adam to a pulp, screaming about Vanessa, which I joke about, but it's incredible. I just think it's funny that a guy like him can be so weak because of just one person. But in all seriousness, this was a great episode. Episode 5 was fine, it had its good moments, but I loved episode 6. It was truly a heavy hitter with great action, incredible tension, and just some great character moments, especially between Matt and Angela once again this week. That's been a great surprise as one of the strongest storylines so far here in season 1, and I'm glad that, the White Tiger side of things did not end with Hector. And so that's going to do it for my breakdown of episodes 5 and 6 from Born Again. It was another solid night of Daredevil for me. Not perfect, but a solid night. But drop your thoughts on the episodes down in the comments below. Smash that like button, subscribe so that you don't miss out on any videos, and make sure you have a great day.